Hi, my name
Hello.
is Uchenna Moye, and I am now the youth admin or coordinator for SGIG's Visionaries. This is our first program, and we want to talk about mental health with a focus on Black women. I think that this is really important, and I think that if we're able to have these conversations, we can also help to create the change in which maybe at some point these conversations are going to be uh, utilized and easy to see and easy to watch. I would love for my friend Diane to now introduce herself.
Hi, so I'm Diane Chamakong, and I'm co-founder of an organization called Happy Core. We'll talk more about what Happy Core is, but it's a mental health organization primarily for Black and Brown people, particularly women and girls. So that's me.
Wow. I'm so happy we have you here. One of the things the visionaries have talked about is how we're going to create the change and what it takes to create change. And the first things we had to figure out is, well, what is it that we want to change? What do we want to focus on? Because there's a
Right.
lot to focus on. But this was
Yeah.
in a particular time where I felt like more than ever, mental health is not the best in the terms of the pandemic, and also in the cultural structure that prevents sometimes people from getting and seeking help they need. Um,
Yeah.
I would love for us to be able to operate and function and hopefully get this out to people that are in need of help, and also just just to demonstrate or show like um, hey, like you're a part of this. We're all here, and we're all going through different struggles and different things currently, but we're going to be fine. We just have to get the tools and the resources to navigate how to do so. Do you feel that it is how would you say a process is for going to get help, like in terms of like therapy, for example? Is this something that you think that right now is something that we can access, or is it very difficult, or what would you say?
Yeah, I think it's a complicated issue because it really depends on your demographic, right? Like, are you a kid? Are you an adult? What's your ethnicity, your nationality? Were you born here? But I think that for many people, let's just speak for the Black community
Yeah.
at in America, right? And for adults in particular, I think that there is access, meaning there are places where we can go, right? I think a lot of the things that stop Black people is the stigma um, surrounding mental health care, and also finding a provider that you feel comfortable with. It's not many providers that understand the complexities of being Black and being Black and young, or being Black and female, or LGBTQ, or whatever that is. So finding someone who understands your intersection and overcoming stigma, I think, are the biggest barriers for Black adults.
Yeah, I fully agree. It's to the point where there's times where you may go to seek help and get help, but the person may not understand the dynamics of you or you as an
Right.
individual to help you with the cultural barriers and differences. Um, but given that's a circumstance, we still want people to know that there are resources available to them, and that it takes a little bit more effort on people of color to find the resources, because there isn't what I would say a uh, army of
Mhm.
Black women therapists and psychiatrists, but there are the ones that I have even met myself, really do put in the effort. The next thing that I was going to ask is
Yeah.
that, um, as a Black woman, as a college-educated Black woman, okay, represent University of Maryland.
Yeah.
Congratulations again.
Thank you.
And I kind of want to ask, um, if it's not too much to ask, do you think that in this world that we're in, if a person is struggling with a pandemic, um, not being able to go anywhere, afraid that they're going to be sick, afraid that they're not able to get the vaccination, to really take care of themselves, but they still have to work, to take care of, their livelihood.
Mhm.
What can we start to do, or what can we start to pull or tie into, with with that dynamic, with how with what can we tell them so that they can get the help that they need, really, truly.
So I think, particularly for young people, the biggest strain that COVID-19 has put on us mentally is the isolation. And it sounds so like paradoxical because we're always on social media and we're always like connected with people, right?
Mhm.
But I think that for us to really get the help that we need as young people, we have to, instead of investing so much in like an Instagram or a social, or like a Facebook or something like that, I think maybe doing something like what we're doing right now, like a Zoom conversation. Um, and I've seen things like, and I don't know if you've heard about Clubhouse. People are getting on Clubhouse and really connecting with each other and having hard conversations. I think that's one way to get the help that you need. The other way, that I can think of, so the first way is free. That's the most accessible way, but also, paying regular visits to your primary care physician. They have a lot of connections and they can really guide you in like your mental health journey. For me, I went to my primary care physician, and that's where I was diagnosed with anxiety disorder. So a PCP is a very good first step to kind of get you into the right doors, I think, and also those social connections, as I've mentioned.
Yeah. Wow. Thanks, Diane.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I feel like, uh, not everyone not everyone has any, the conversations, like this. Especially, I feel, unfortunately, mostly because it's a vulnerability,
Yeah.
truly, to express that you're down in a world where you have to be up all the time, and
Oh yeah.
especially on social media, it's to present yourself as happy or to show the good that's going on. You can't
Right.
necessarily, you don't really have time to be negative or to express any doubt you may have, or to show really truly who you are. And I think that,
Right.
being able to be honest with yourself, thank you for sharing again. It allows others to see that honesty, and it also allows us to move forward in a way that might not happen if a person such as you, or myself, or, really anyone a part of this dynamic, can have that conversation. Um, I I noticed that, a lot of the time there are there are the stigmas, or the conversations about, well, I don't want to be on medication because it's going to alter my brain and how it works.
Right.
And, to some extent, I would say that there is truth, a little bit of truth in everything. But it's about what works for you, what works best for you, and what's helping you. So I wanted to mention, how important it is that there, if you don't feel well, you can go to get a diagnostic at the very least to try to figure out why you may not be feeling well or what is going on. And sometimes the problems you may have are extremely interior, like, and you just think of all these things, but other times they can be affecting your well-being and how you move, how you operate. So it's just so important that you reach out to someone. Also me, reach out and just express what's going on. I think that that's really important.